Hello, everybody. I'm Jaret Reddick. And this is a podcast. Jaret Goes to the Movies. Hopefully you have seen or heard one of my many musical endeavors. And if you have, then you know how much I love movies. This is movie commentary with no movie knowledge. This podcast is me and my friend Rich talking about movies that we like. But my name's on it because I'm famous. This is Jaret Goes to the Movies. Still. Okay, we're starting now.
People are always asking me if I know Tyler Durden.
3 minutes. This is it. Ground zero. Would you like to say a few words to mark the occasion?
With a gun barrel between your teeth, you speak only in vowels.
I can't think of anything.
For a second, I totally forget about Tyler's whole controlled demolition thing, and I wonder how clean that gun is.
Getting exciting now.
That old saying, how you always hurt the one you love? Well, it works both ways. We have front row seats for this theater of mass destruction. The Demolitions Committee of Project Mayhem wrapped the foundation columns of a dozen buildings with blasting gelatin. In 2 minutes, primary charges will blow base charges, and a few square blocks will be reduced to smoldering rubble. I know this because Tyler knows this.
2.5. Think of everything we've accomplished.
And suddenly, I realized that all of this, the gun, the bombs, the revolution, has got something to do with a girl named Marla Singer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaret. With me always is Rich.
Hello.
And this is Jaret Goes to the Movies. It's a couple of things I realized. With me always is, I stole from Wayne's World and didn't realize that until just the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice either.
And with me always is Rich. There he is, right over there. And I like that you go, hello, different ways each time.
I know.
Before we even get started, though, I just want to thank the everybody who's supporting us on Patreon and helping us to build this podcast. Could not do it without you guys.
Thanks.
Anybody interested in extra content and being a monthly contributor to this podcast and many, many more to come, you can find that information on jaretgoestothemovies.com. Rich, here's the thing. I got a retort, first of all. I re-examined some thoughts that I had on last week's podcast. Last week was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It was...
Nancy McKeon is not Michael McKeon's sister?
No, she is.
No, she's not. She is not.
Wait, who's Nancy McKeon?
That's a Joe from...
Joe, they're definitely brother and sister.
Their last name is spelled differently. Hers is with an O, his is with an A.
Oh, shit. Well, goddamn it.
Where did you get that from?
I don't know. I always thought that was a thing. I didn't know. I really didn't know.
Oh, my God, that's
No.
hilarious.
This is even deeper because this got into what I feel like was a true separation in our opinions about the two stars of the movie.
Yeah.
I think I made my opinion based upon famous scenes of, need a fucking car right fucking now, or you're messing with the wrong guy, or, have a point, and then just knowing that you're kind of a dick, I just assumed that you would just pick the other side, thinking Jaret's going to, think that Steve Martin's a dick. I do have to say this. I replayed it all in my head, and you're spot on.
Thank you.
You really are. I mean, Steve Martin really is just a nice dude.
Trying to just get
trying
to
to
his house.
get home. He's been at work. He's
long day.
Maybe he's grumpy at times.
Grumpy,
even the part
sure.
where you agreed with me on
The stewardess.
the way that he talked to the flight attendant.
Right.
He was perfectly right in that. He just should have had that conversation outside of the plane, and that's why it made us uncomfortable.
Right.
So I do have to say, good job sticking to your guns on that.
We don't talk before the show.
We don't.
We don't go, hey, you take this point of view, and I'll take... We don't do that.
No, but I was dead wrong. Steve Martin was actually kind of a saint through a lot of the movie. And then, as you said, he reached his limit. And we all have one of those. And so I just wanted to revisit that and let you know. I mean, you completely changed the way I think I'll watch it next time.
Wow.
All right. The other thing that I want to say about this, we are doing the movie Fight Club. If you have not seen the movie Fight Club, I do recommend that you do not listen to this podcast until you have seen it.
Agreed.
There are a lot of movies that we're going to do that I think you'll be able to listen to the podcast and maybe get a few things even more out of the movie than you would have, just because we've probably seen them.
Like if they've never seen Vacation before,
that wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, and they could have enjoyed that all day long.
This is 100% a spoiler alert.
Yeah.
If you listen to this podcast, it will 100% ruin the first viewing of Fight Club for you, and this is your one and only warning of that. Fight Club. An insomniac office worker looking for a way to change his life crosses paths with a devil-may-care soap maker, forming an underground fight club that evolves into something much, much, much more. I mean, I remember just seeing the previews for this one and just thinking, oh, Fight Club, they're gonna fight. There was no real... I didn't feel like I was being baited into the grandness of the story that I was about to see.
The movie's not about fighting.
It's not. The movie is directed by David Fincher. I think one of the cool things that I just discovered just now, or during my preparation for this movie is the novel came out in '96 and this film came out 3 years later. I mean that's
I think it made a big impact or something.
It must have for sure.
In Hollywood,
big
was
book.
like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. So I mean,
David Fincher, he did Zodiac, which I think is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
I've never seen Zodiac. I guess I'd have to look at sort of the David Fincher.
Is that the one with the Jake Gyllenhaal one?
Yes.
Well, that's a book first as well.
Right.
It's true.
It's about the Zodiac. It's about the
crime.
Zodiac killer. That's the only movie I've ever seen where I couldn't go to sleep because of it.
Really?
And here's why.
Why? Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and I
the
read it.
scene when the couple are out by the lake, out by the tree, and he like gets them, ties them up, and then just no emotion whatsoever. Just starts stabbing him. Just sitting right there, just stabbing. And that guy haunted me for weeks. Because I was like, ghosts and vampires, all that kind of crap, that's all bullshit. A guy who's psychotic enough that has no emotion, that it will just, for no reason whatsoever, these people did nothing to him. He just walks up to him and stabs him multiple times as they're... I mean, that's the kind of thing I was like, some dude could just walk in my house because he feels like it.
Demonic possession and some freaking like nothing grabbing you out of your bed, that freaks me out more than anything. I will not be able to sleep at all.
I'm like, that's not true. I know that's not going to work. I mean, that's not going to...
Everybody at the beginning of a demonic possession movie gets
of
freaked out of the
movie,
bed for no reason.
But not in the beginning of the demonic possession in real life because there aren't any. So
yeah, David Fincher though, I mean, big time director as I'm looking here. Worked with Brad Pitt a bunch. He did Seven. He did Fight Club. He did
Benjamin Button.
He did Benjamin Button. He also did The Social Network, which was huge. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I love that movie. He's a great director.
Well, he's doing House of Cards now, which is a huge show.
He did 2 episodes of House of Cards.
Here's what's insane: the guy has done all the music videos. All of them.
I saw that.
He did Cradle of Love, L.A. Woman by Billy Idol. He did Bad Girl by Madonna. The screenplay was by Jim Oles. So it's screenplay. You just basically read somebody's words and make it less words.
Yeah.
That's what you do?
Just say, he said this.
Why aren't we in that business?
I know, right?
Let's get into the screenplay business. Look, I liked this book in 8th grade called Dinky Hocker Shoots Smack. Let's do a freaking screenplay on it right now.
Right.
Brad Pitt, of course. The reason we're doing this movie, if you are just joining us for the first time or you didn't hear a few weeks ago, I believe Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? It was Raiders of the Lost Ark because Mark was here and we went on a big Brad Pitt tangent. Rich and I both have man love for Brad Pitt.
Huge man love for Brad Pitt.
We had you guys vote on our Facebook, on our Twitter. We asked people and landslide, right? I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually was surprised that Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I was surprised at the amount of votes that one got because that one I haven't.
She's a home-wrecking whore.
I haven't seen that one a ton. The other ones, I felt like it bounced back. The thing that pissed me off was all the true romance votes. Because that's just such a small part.
Let's not dance around the elephant in the room that she just brought up. Anniston or Angelina?
Right.
I get it now. Like,
you get it now?
I mean, it's hard to like keep hating her. She pretty much just sits around and helps people all day long.
I know, it's almost annoying, right?
Just to make up for the fact that she's a home-wrecking whore.
Here's the problem with that whole thing. There's no art. You can go by what you think you know about each of them, what you think the press tells you, how pretty they are,
She
blah, blah,
obviously
blah.
is a better fit for him.
Obviously, because it's worked out.
I mean, I think knowing what you know about Brad now and how she is... Like, Anniston didn't want kids at that time, and he wanted kids, and fucking Angelina wanted to...
All the kids.
All the kids.
Too many kids. I think some of those aren't even her kids.
Do you go to the dentist a lot, or... Like, I'm just wondering, like,
yes, once a year.
So, and then you steal all the magazines and just fucking read them for the rest of the year. Like, how do I know
all this pop culture? I just like pop
that
culture.
Is not pop culture. That is beauty shop talk, and I don't mean the kind that my wife works in. I mean the kind that I'm talking about the kind that my grandmother goes to at 88 years old and gets a wet set once a week, and that's the only time she touches her hair.
I have a client like that.
I don't know how I know this stuff. I
get it. I know I don't know anything about the actual situation, but I just,
I'm Team Anniston all the way.
I used to be.
You can't deny what they have, I guess. I mean, they have something.
This conversation is ridiculous.
I'll tell you what they have is a lot of kids.
They have a lot of kids.
You know what they have? A baseball team.
And I think they have an open relationship because she was all about, if we're friends,
and
you can have sex with me all you want.
She's all about her brother. They kissed on the mouth.
I wish she was closer to her dad, though, because I fucking love John Voight.
You're like a chick.
Why?
Everybody's listening to this going, what the fuck is he talking about?
You know why? You know why? Because I don't watch fucking football.
You wish she was closer to her dad? Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
He just likes what they have.
What do you wish Jennifer Aniston was closer to her dad because you love Days of Our Lives? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Is that all true?
Yeah, absolutely. No, both of them are estranged from their fathers.
Oh, are they really?
And both of their fathers are actors.
Well, I do like her dad, too.
Victor Kiriakis.
So he has a type.
I will say that, did you watch Days of Our Lives when you were a kid? Like, did you go through like a little phase?
I watched Anne Another World.
So crazy because I was at the car wash the other day and I walked in. It's the fucking same cast. It was insane. Like Kayla, who like I first started to beat off to, was right there on the screen. She looks exactly the same. It was crazy. I excused myself and I went into the family restroom.
Eve from Another World, who had the scar on her face.
You are my way.
She's in the Flash now.
Another World. And what's her face from Days of Our Lives is on Biggest Loser. And I hated her when she was young, and now I like her. I hated her. Edward Norton, who had to do double work on this movie. He had to act in it and then narrate it. And I mean, there is a shitload of narration.
Yeah.
But he laughs all the way to the bank now because he's on every fucking commercial in the world.
Is he?
As a narrator. Oh my God, his voice is everywhere. Helena Bonham Carter, who I didn't understand her attractiveness until a few years later.
Oh, until?
I don't
until she was the Red Queen?
I don't know what that is.
Johnny
Alice in
Depp's
Wonderland.
house.
Oh, yeah.
With a big giant
I love
head.
her. I want to be her.
Oh, I can't stand her.
I want the fucked up hair, and I want all of that.
Cool thing about her in this movie, though, is that she had the makeup artist do her makeup left-handed, so it would look like she was all fucked up all the time.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's fucking...
Maybe I should start doing my makeup that way.
She's art film girl. I don't know. She doesn't... I don't know. She's just...
you know what? Again, the first time I saw it, I definitely didn't understand it at all, but I get it now. You know, I mean, there's a thing there.
So this was 1999. Where were you?
So I first saw this movie. I saw this movie a few years later, actually. And, you know, looking at the box office, I wonder how big of a hit you would say this is. Just because...
It was not a hit.
Well, so there you go. Because it cost $63 million and box office was $100 million. And so... And you have to pay Edward Norton and Brad Pitt to be in your fucking movie.
Right.
Plus, you know, there's some special effects and stuff like that. I mean, you know,
no,
so it wasn't a hit. Is that true? I mean,
it's not a hit.
Okay, so there you go. So, but now a cult favorite from way back, right?
It's the #1 movie by popularity for 1999, and it was 54 at the box office for that year. I mean, it was bad. It was terrible.
I would have seen this in 2001. No, 2000.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 2000 for sure.
Video.
Me and Eric were out doing a promo tour, and essentially what that is for months and months and months. It would be he and I and a record rep from that region, and we would just drive, you know, try to do 2-3 radio stations a day. You go in, you do a really uncomfortable acoustic show in their little break room. You try to get a couple of people to come in there and pay attention. None of them want to be there, but there's free bagels. And then you go to the hotel. You know, back then, we didn't have the money to go out and fuck shit up unless the person from Jive was taking us. So, you know,
they would back your money for the record.
Right. So but they would always put down for incidentals. So, you know, and this is pre like having a laptop with you all the time.
Right.
Me and Eric we talk about this all the time. We watch this as a pay-per-view in a hotel room. And a little shitty hotel room. I will never in my life forget our reaction to this because we both went into it not knowing anything about it. The trailers and whatnot, and we'd basically just seen them fighting in the whoa, famous scene thing. Right. And we watched it, and then we sat across from one another on, he on his bed and mine on mine, and just like, what the fuck did we just see? And tried to replay it in our heads to put it all back together.
Right.
But you can't rewind it at that point. When you watch it the second time and you start to see all of the hints that they're dropping you. And even from the opening scene, I know this because he knows this, And it'd be interesting. It's interesting to see at what point people get it, like what's going on, because I was late in this film before. I mean, it was like they had to write it on the screen for me to fucking get it the first time. But Eric and I talk about it all the time. That's one of our favorite tour stories. Is like, yeah, we were so wild and crazy. We watched Fight Club, then talked about it for 2 hours.
Right.
And, but definitely made a big impact as far as I was concerned. On, I mean, this is where the Brad Pitt love was pretty much going in an up curve as fast as it could go.
This was 1999. I was still married to my first wife, and my daughter was born this year, actually. Positive I didn't see the film right away. It would have been DVD later. Yeah, I remember being blown away by the film. Artistically, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's everything.
The acting is phenomenal. The directing is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Everything about the movie artistically was crazy.
The
good.
Darkness of it, like just visually,
very dark, yeah.
But visually is crazy. Just the lighting and how dark it is all the time. No, I mean, I guess the second time I watched it, it was many years later. Had it been one of those things where I bought the DVD, watched it again, I think it would have all even made sense again. But I think the second time I watched it, I'm like looking for those subtle clues, but they're still not as obvious as they are now. Like, because again, I've probably seen this whole movie 4 times ever.
I watched it, I know, at least once, because I remember vividly how great the movie was, and the reaction I had to it was, holy shit, this was just blew my mind. I didn't see that coming, that whole thing. And then, like I said, the acting's great, the artistic directing of it, it was just phenomenal. And then when I watched it this time, I think it was Friday night, I put it on, everything off, I was just paying attention to the movie. Oh my God, I could barely get through it.
Oh, you didn't dig it?
It was terrible.
You didn't like it because you knew it was going to happen?
I don't know if I'm just a different person now, but like all the dialogue was just bullshit.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of dialogue to this. There's a lot of words in this movie.
And it's bullshit
as
words.
it started,
it's stupidity.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a complicated way to get a simple message across. I think that's the thing. It's a guy's brain we're talking about. A brain is complicated.
It's this sick guy, right? He's schizophrenic. I have problems with these types of movies in general, and I have a problem with, okay, this isn't real. He's imagining this. What else isn't fucking real? What am I supposed to know is real and what is not real?
Why wouldn't you just watch if you like the acting, you like the directing, you like the story so much, like why not just watch it again to appreciate it? There's no possible way that every movie that you see that's great is equally as great every time you watch it. I wasn't trying to hate
it. I promise everybody, I'm not trying just to be the other point of view in this. I promise you. When I watched that, I assumed I was going to like it, and I just didn't. I just didn't like it.
I did. I think what I like about it is knowing what's going to happen. And again, just these little subtle hints. For example, where people's eyes go. He's riding on the bus and he comes into the house and Tyler's in the kitchen. He's like, we got to celebrate. And he hands him the beers and he walks into the living room and all of the minions are around. And Jared Leto's goes, let me get that for you. And they're all like super nervous, like looking at him or whatever and yada yada. And then all of a sudden a fucking building blows up. And he doesn't even know. And at the time, when you're the viewer for the first time, the happy face thing, yeah. He didn't know. He just fucking went and did that.
Right.
You know? I mean, that's right. And they're all looking at him like, God, this guy's fucking great.
Sir, the first rule of Project Mayhem is you do not ask questions, sir.
Yeah, Project Mayhem starts up, you know? So, I mean, we can back up a little bit.
Well, let's talk about the opening scene.
Yeah.
I think was great. Even this viewing, I thought it was great. I like when things start like that, when they start with the ending first, and then they tell you how we got here.
See, you don't like the smartness of the dialogue. You don't like that only sounds you can make when there's a gun in your mouth are vowel sounds. Like, that's fucking genius writing.
It's really good, but it just was, I don't know. It started to become diarrhea of the mouth. It was just so much. It was so much.
It's a bunch. They dump a bunch on you. You know, when you go to a really smart comedian and he makes you laugh a bunch, but you leave and you can't repeat any of the jokes.
Right.
It's sort of like
it's
that.
almost like that, yeah.
So when you leave there, there's a few quotes here and there that they give you to remember like that, but you don't come out being able to voice the movie.
And I still, to this day, the directing is phenomenal. The acting is crazy good.
Yeah.
This may be Brad Pitt's best performance. I don't know. But
I like the first scene in that I always think it's interesting when you see someone in trouble and then they essentially rewind it and fucking get them back there because you forget.
That's cool. I like that a lot.
You forget as the movie watcher, you forget that you saw that earlier.
Right.
So this is a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. So by the time you're an hour and 50 minutes in, when they get back to that thing, I do agree. It watches long. You know, these kind of movies, when they can get you back there and you don't remember that, they did their job because you're like, oh yeah, fuck, what did he say? You know, and then there is the thing like, I know this because Tyler knows. That sticks out in my brain because that was a smart line. I like the false start in the movie as they carry on, though. I thought it was pretty genius how he cuts from that into him on Bob, which is Meatloaf.
Yeah.
I mean...
Bob had bitch tits.
Poor guy, got his testicles cut off, had to take these hormones and fucking... and he's sitting there hugging the guy.
I forgot how big those were. I thought it was just sort of regular man. No,
they're
huge.
big. They even said... I mean, he has a line in there about how big they are.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, and he's just pulling them into there and... And then he goes, you know, hold on, let me back up again.
With insomnia, nothing's real. Everything's far away. Everything's a copy of a copy of a copy.
I love that he's in the self-help group. He obviously doesn't belong there. And then he's like, hold on, here's how I got here. And he's in his doctor going, I haven't slept in 6 months.
Right.
Chloe looked the way Meryl Streep's skeleton would look if you made it smile and walk around a party being extra nice to everybody.
No one will have sex with me. I'm so close to the end, and all I want is to get laid for the last time. I have pornographic movies in my apartment, and lubricants, and anal nitrate.
Thank you, Chloe.
She says anal nitrate.
Yeah, someone in
what the fuck is anal nitrate?
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was going to ask, but I was actually like, maybe it's something people know.
I have no idea what anal nitrate is.
Isn't that what you put up your... No, that's glycerin. So I was going to say maybe that makes
it like a glycerin suppository, like when you're like a baby that can't poop.
Well, yeah, you got to clean it out before a guy gets all up in there. Otherwise, they get
Tweet
shit
to us
dick.
That's an enema.
Jaret Movies. What is anal nitrate?
No, but there's somebody in that room that would fuck her for sure.
I would think so.
Because even as the viewer, you're like, I would sympathy fuck her. What do I got
what
to
if
lose?
it's all dry and stuff?
I would even do it.
There's lube, and she has lube.
Yeah, she has anal nitrate.
She has all of the stuff. All you need to go in there and just
why would you not
go crazy?
I don't know.
I mean, I would not. But I'm sure
I'm a charitable person.
I'd let him. I'd be like, Jaret, please,
just fuck. Just for the love of God.
Please, God, go have sex with that woman and just.
Oh no.
Oh man, but
I wouldn't be able to sleep.
I did feel that sympathy of just, my God, someone please. Just
really, because I just couldn't get past anal nitrate. That was.
I want to Google that. You guys proceed.
You guys Google that.
Anal nitrate?
Yeah.
Is not a thing. It's called amyl nitrate. We're all assholes.
That's where it does not go.
No.
Anal nitrate just sounds like a bitter.
It's an inhalant. It's like literally like the essential of like whippets. They said just via the internet.
So amyl nitrate, and what it gives you, like euphoric sex or something?
No, not necessarily, but it's also kind of a muscle relaxant.
Oh, so it is for the anal.
Essentially, but it also is kind of like whippet sensation as well. But yeah, anal nitrate's not a thing. So.
Well, the reason why she has it is to deal with the pain of chemo and all that stuff too. I mean, that's what she's talking about. She's basically saying to other people,
"I'll share the drug with you."
Exactly. You probably can't get high, but I can fucking get you high. You know.
Right.
So you're a tourist. I saw you had melanoma. I saw you had tuberculosis. I saw you had testicular cancer.
I saw you practicing this.
Practicing what?
Telling me off. Is it going as well as you hoped?
How do you not love that dialogue? That's genius.
Good. Like I said, there's a bunch of good stuff. It's just surrounded by diarrhea.
The fact that she had seen him rehearsing it as he pulls her away from the coffee, just like, I need to talk. She's like, okay. And he pulls her. And it's like, she's just like, I saw this coming.
The other thing is the background noises were so fucking loud, it was hard to hear.
There's a lot going on. Do you know that the director of this movie claims that there is a Starbucks cup in every single scene in the movie.
Serious?
Yeah,
I believe it.
True
actually.
story. Yeah, so they
That's
do
pretty
claim.
indicative of
This
support
is like
groups.
before Starbucks like completely blew up, though. You know, like that's pretty interesting.
Have you ever been to a support group?
Well, my parents were in AA, so does that count?
Did you go?
Yeah, yeah, sure. I was in
okay.
Alateen and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, my whole youth. They went in when I was in 3rd grade, so.
I almost went to one.
Yeah.
I was dating a girl who is in a support group. Tried to go to one because I wanted to know what her world was like. You know
See,
what I mean?
you seem like that kind of dude. Like when you were going through the fucked up divorce. Not that either of them weren't fucked up.
No, the last
But
one wasn't.
it's fucked up to me because I'm your friend. But
Right.
you've fucking made it make sense in your head. Whatever. We can talk about that another time. Your first divorce, though, when shit was so fucked, you strike me as like that kind of dude that would just be like, I'm going to go to this group and just see other people.
No, I'm actually the opposite. Like,
Yeah.
I really found the inner strength. That's what I did. I reached inside of myself and I said, no one's going to do this for you.
Right.
You've got to pull yourself out of
for
this.
you, man.
And that's kind of how I am.
I don't feel
in
like
general,
you can go
though.
into one of those things, though, like thinking that it's going to fix everything. You just really are just kind of, to me, in those situations, and I feel like that's sort of like even the men with testicular cancer, they were trying to get point across was, you know, you're just not alone.
I don't understand it, and I wanted to kind of understand it because it was a very foreign concept to me.
What, the support group?
Yeah, and I was very curious about it and wanted to sort of see what it was about. I didn't get a chance to.
I mean, essentially, it's a common thing where everyone is going through, and they take liberties in this movie as far as the randomness of it all.
Right.
But there is pretty much something for everyone. I just love the fact that it's cheaper than a movie and there's free coffee that she says. It's so funny because that did give me flashbacks to when my parents first went into AA. They essentially, like, and obviously it's changed a lot. I mean, it's 35 years ago. At that point, literally, you'd walk in there, there's a fucking cloud of smoke because everybody trying to stop drinking basically just smoked and drank coffee. And my parents were in charge of keeping the coffee stocked at the fucking group, and it was like a fucking full-time job.
I mean, maybe you would know. I'm ignorant, so I'm talking out of ignorance, first of all.
Sure. In Wichita Falls, we would call that ignorant.
I mean, is there a lot of trading one addiction for another, but the one you traded it for is just a lot better than alcohol, for example?
Well, sure. There is a lot of that
like
goes
you have
on.
an addictive personality. There's nothing getting around with that. Trade it for another addiction, like
they don't say
the Bible,
that in
like
there, but like
smoking,
a higher power.
like
We're going to.
That's really,
group.
as she's saying, that's not really a part of it. But yeah, I mean, they get you, you know, and I don't want to speak just on AA because obviously it's done wonders for my parents, but
I'm not saying any of that is a bad thing. I'm saying, I mean, if you're addicted
they
to
get you into
Jesus
different habits.
as opposed
So,
to
for
addicted
example,
to drugs, that's a good thing.
For example, if they have you going there at 8:00 every night and you're not out until 9, and then you've got to call somebody at 10:30, you know, and so essentially they get you into a new routine.
That's a healthier routine.
You know, and so I think for addictive personalities, routine is good.
Yeah, it's super common for people that have been through different drug and alcohol abusive situations to go into either heavily into church, heavily into the gym.
Right.
Because that like releases all those same endorphins, heavily into food,
heavily into anal,
cigarettes, heavily into anal nitrates. That's not true.
You know, I mean, I don't know that AA is really considered a support group. It's more of a program, you know. I mean, like you have these, you know, you have specific things to follow, and you have steps to do, and it's never ending. You do the 12 steps, then you got to go do them again, and it's just. But I do think that's the thing that she's saying is it's cheaper than a movie, so you basically get to sit there and hear other people's hardships and other people's stories, and I'm fucking totally lost that because I wanted beer.
Was it ticking?
Actually, throwers don't worry about ticking because modern bombs don't tick.
Sorry, throwers?
Baggage handlers. But when a suitcase vibrates, then the door's got to call the police.
My suitcase was vibrating.
9 times out of 10, it's an electric razor, but every once in a while, it's a dildo. Of course, it's company policy never to imply ownership in the event of a dildo. We have to use the indefinite article, a dildo, never
your dildo.
Your dildo.
But I don't own
Do you remember that there was a lawsuit about this?
No.
Around the same time, which again I believe is probably why this was written in.
Were you involved in this?
Eric says this all the time because basically a woman was going through security. Mm-hmm. The bag was vibrating, and they asked her if it was her dildo, and she ended up suing and fucking won. And so now it's called a battery operated device. So, ma'am,
everything. Well, they make them look like massagers now.
Ma'am,
anyway,
is this your battery operated device? That's what they call them. I mean, they sell dildos at fucking Brookstone now. It's crazy.
They sell massagers at Walmart.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you walk into Brookstone and there's like a whole wall of massagers, and it's the dildo capital of the world in there. And they're just all shaking around and stuff. And your kids walk by and they're like, "What's that?" And they put it on their head, and it just like messes up their hair.
Some of those are actually massagers.
Yeah, to put into your vagina.
No, like for your shoulders.
Yeah,
I have a vagina.
Your vagina shoulders.
Well.
Is this Brookstone or is this Spencer's?
Yeah, it's Brookstone.
They're called personal massagers. They're not for insertion. They're just like high-powered, vibrating things.
Do you put them on your vagina?
But you don't put them in your vagina.
Hold on.
That's a dildo.
I don't care. Do you put them on your vagina?
Where do you think anatomically the vagina actually is?
Do you okay, so...
Go ahead.
So do you put it onto your clitoris?
That is,
I don't.
The clitoris is not the vagina.
People do.
Jesus Christ, you guys!
I feel like you don't know what's going on down there.
I think Brookstone was going to fucking sponsor us in their new dildo
Luckily,
campaign.
we can just get rid of all this.
But
Jesus
I think
Christ.
more importantly,
people are going to be stoked about all of the
Jaret,
clitoral action from Brookstone.
Yeah. More importantly, I think we need to find out if you know where the stuff is down
Why
there.
don't you
because
just,
I feel like you don't.
Why don't you just once and for all ask Casey?
No, I want to know because you could be doing it accidentally. But
He knows where it's all at.
I think I know.
All right.
And by I think
maybe Casey doesn't know. She's 22. What does she know about sex?
She's 25.
She's not even.
Also cut that.
God damn it. All right, you guys are so fucking far off topic.
What, Bill,
he's off topic.
No, know what movie did this right? Is
Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah, I know.
I fucking love that.
You want to know
movie.
why? Because that was a true story.
Oh, yeah, but it was good.
This isn't supposed to be a true story, though. This is a fantastic story.
Look, and I'm not trying to dog on the film entirely. Like, I love so many things about this. The acting, the directing, I've already said it. The artisticness of it is amazing.
There's cool things.
A lot of the dialogue, but it is fucking goddamn, it's wordy.
There's a lot of cool things that happen, though. Like, for example, like he thinks his house blows up because there's a gas leak and the gas builds up or whatever. And then you find out later, why that happened, because somebody put Freon into the lock and hit it with a chisel or something like that. And there's an igniter in there and poof, it blows up with dynamite. There was dynamite in there. He just goes, dynamite. What the fuck? He's obviously addicted to stuff and just...
Is he?
He says it all the time.
But furnishing your apartment is addicted to material
No, but he just can't... I didn't mean that he was addicted to material things, so to speak. But he even says, on the phone call with the officer, like, that I didn't just lose my furniture. I lost me. And then he goes, and the Academy Award goes to yada yada. But that's fucking true. I mean, he disappeared with that apartment. It blew up. And all of a sudden, he lives with Tyler.
Because he's mentally fucking insane.
Yeah,
but
sure.
like, if you walk out of your house, blow this house up, you would lose you too. Look around this room. This is a huge part of you.
I could actually stand to lose you two. Have you heard their last album? So this is it. It's sort of the turning point. He's met Tyler Durden or whatever. And
who is him? We don't even know the guy's name.
It says it in his name.
No.
They call him anonymous.
No, his name in the script is the narrator.
No shit.
Yeah, he has no name.
No
one ever calls him his real name. They call him his support group made-up names because they're always different every time he's in a different group.
That's right.
He has no name, and they refer to him in the script as the narrator.
I don't know why you're being so angry. That is fucking awesome.
It's cool.
That is cool as shit.
It doesn't mean that I enjoyed watching the movie on Friday night. Well, it just sucked for me.
I'm sorry your Friday night sucked, but they end up in a bar.
You know what a duvet is? Comforter. It's a blanket. Just a blanket. Now, why do guys like you and I know what a duvet is? Is this essential to our survival in the hunter-gatherer sense of the word? No. What are we then?
Consumers.
Right. We are consumers. We are byproducts of a lifestyle obsession. Murder, crime, poverty, these things don't concern me. What concerns me are celebrity magazines, television with 500 channels, some guy's name on my underwear. Rogaine, Viagra, Olestra.
Martha Stewart.
Fuck Martha Stewart.
So I'm 43 years old. I'm pretty sure I didn't know what a duvet actually was until about 10 years ago.
See, that's a big English thing. And so I learned that because our first bus driver was just like, did you need me to wash the duvet? And I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Let me send you to someone else. And then apparently it got cleaned. But
I think all the women in my life knew what it was, and they would say it, but I would pretend like I knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Right. Isn't a duvet a comforter? But you have to cover it?
Okay, now you're calling me out.
Why aren't you talking now?
Is it the thing that you cover
a duvet
the
is like a comforter.
with?
No, there's a duvet cover,
Yeah.
which would be
a duvet is a comforter, though. What we call a comforter.
But they're different, right?
No, it's not. It just there's all different types of duvets, and you have duvet covers.
If you go buy a
in some
comforter,
places,
you get a comforter. If you go buy a duvet, you get a duvet.
Okay, if you go buy a down comforter, and then you go to IKEA, which you hate, and buy a duvet cover to cover your down comforter,
so the duvet
it would cover your comforter.
Also, sometimes, depending on where you are in England, they call it a duvet.
But if you have a hot dog bun and you put it around a hamburger, it doesn't make the hamburger a duvet.
No, it makes it a hamburger.
What
the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's still a hot dog cover, you asshole.
You've never had a hot dog hamburger before?
I don't know what the fuck
it's a hot dog cover. You put a hamburger in it, you're a dumbass.
It's a ham dog.
Please God, fill a duvet cover full of rocks. It's still a duvet cover. Fuck you.
I did that. Well, I did that when I was in Nam.
All right, everyone stop.
When I was in Nam, I did that. I filled a duvet cover with rocks, and I went and took out a whole village.
What the fuck is going on?
That's what happened.
Seriously, can we get back on the duvet topic?
No, no. Actually, it's not important. So
it's very important.
No, we need to get back to the podcast.
It is 10:52.
I don't know what a duvet is again.
Who gives a shit?
I want to know what it is.
Hold on.
She's like describing as duvet is only a cover. Is that correct?
No, a duvet cover is a cover.
Who brought up cover? I'm talking about a duvet.
Dude, when the fucking wheels come off all the way around the room, I can't reel you both in. You both fucking talk at the speed of goddamn light. It's
I'm
fucking
planning a Christmas
crazy.
party over here. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him.
Jesus Christ. It's like when both of you guys get talking at the same time, I feel like that's when I should go pee. Stop doing that, you fucks.
I didn't do it.
Jesus Christ. I can't even fucking make a goddamn sentence now. Okay. Rich, have you ever been in a fist fight?
Yes, actually.
Have you?
Yeah,
like when?
I've been in 2 fist fights.
Yeah. How'd they go?
I won one, even though it didn't look like I won it.
Sure.
And then I lost the other one because I got jumped, basically.
Oh, by like one dude or multiple?
His brother.
No, it's like, always the fucking
brother.
Always.
He like did the whole kneel down behind me, and then the guy pushed me over, so I fell over him, and then he jumped on me and started punching me. Yeah,
That's
I mean nothing happened
cool.
to me. It wasn't like I had any marks at all, but
what?
Quote unquote, he won the fight. And then the other one, I was in the food court with Leah Wickersham, who was my girlfriend, and a guy from her high school, I guess liked her or something, or was mad because I was dating.
Was this when you were in Kansas?
No, this was Killeen.
Were you super popular?
This is Killeen, Texas. And I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, Leah Wickersham, and Mark Vogel, like calls me out, wants to fight me in the fucking mall. Who does that?
In the food court.
In the food court. That's it, food court. And
I'll tell you who wants to
because I'm
fight.
dating, I think it's because I'm dating girls from their high school, and people were mad about that.
The guy who wants to fight in the food court is the guy who wants the fight to get broken up as soon as possible.
Right, exactly. And I think that he was a puss. He never hit me one single time. I'm hitting him, but he's holding my head, and so I'm just fucking wailing on his back. I mean, that was it.
Are you and Leah Facebook friends now?
Yeah, we're Facebook friends, yeah.
What's she up to?
She's married, kids.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She cute?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Say naked photos? Or
No.
None of it's
She's
digital.
a good girl.
None of it was digital back then.
She's a good girl.
Oh, you mean from back? I meant from now. You know, That fucking first fight when they go out there and they're in the parking lot of the bar.
So I want you to do me a favor.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
What?
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
And he fucking hits him in the ear.
Well, but not only does he hit him in the ear, like just the way that he hits him is
so awkward.
It's the most awkward punch you've ever. I mean, like because they both took boxing classes.
Did you see the trivia behind that?
For this, yeah. So they both took boxing classes, but it's like once you learn to throw a football correctly, and somebody's like, throw a football, like a guy who doesn't know how to throw a football is hard to do.
Right.
And so, but he pops him right in the fucking ear. Holy shit.
And he doesn't know it's coming because David Fincher told him, really hit him, because he wasn't supposed to hit him. He was supposed to
I even had better aim at Halloween that Jaret told me to punch him in the face whenever him and my dad became blood brothers.
That's true. That was a good night. Are you no? But I actually don't know this trivia. So he actually hit
David
him.
Fincher pulls him aside. And he says, "Really hit him," and so he hit him in the ear for real.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt did not know that was going to happen.
Oh, that's good shit.
Yeah, and he fucking just went with it.
Yeah.
And then he punched him in the gut. I think that punch was real too, because that looked real.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Third rule of Fight Club, someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out. The fight is over. Fourth rule, only 2 guys to a fight. Fifth rule, 1 fight at a time, fellas. Sixth rule, no shirts, no shoes. Seventh rule, fights will go on as long as they have to. And the 8th and final rule, if this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
Should we talk about that shitty house first?
I know. The house does. And again, back to his apartment before they blow it up.
Right.
They go through it and it's just perfect. But yeah, I mean, that house it's one of those things where you're just like, how would somebody live like that? Wouldn't that be kind of fucking cool to live like that for like a minute? Do that for a bit now?
No, because I hate camping.
Me too.
Fucking hate camping.
Can we all go non-camping together?
Do you ever do? But when you camp, what do you do?
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna teach.
I thought I had clarified that.
I'm gonna fucking teach you to camp right now. It's
okay.
Awesome. You go out into nature. You do all of the fun shit that you do during the day.
No.
What part of this isn't fun so far?
Everything you've said, it doesn't sound fun.
You just hate nature?
Yeah. Well,
Look at him. He's pasty.
I have an air conditioner in my house.
Right. This is not the point.
It conditions the air, Jared. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Air in my house, conditioned.
I understand that.
That sounds amazing.
Right.
You know what doesn't sound amazing?
What?
It's nature not conditioning the air.
Right, but you're going to be outside anyway. You go do all the fun shit, and then you go to the hotel.
What? Okay, explain what this fun shit is, because nothing sounds fun when it deals with outside.
There's all kinds of fun shit that happens in nature.
One thing.
You can take a walk.
Nope. That's what I'm saying. We live in Texas. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's my problem. Because I think if I lived in the Northeast or something where it's like 60, 70 degrees all the time, I would be much more prone to do stuff outside.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. I was trying to agree with you, Rich. I was trying to tell you I fucking hate camping too. But I do like the aspects of the fun part of it, and then I go to the hotel.
So that's what you do. Okay.
I like camping.
I don't sleep outside.
Yeah, that's fucking
Fuck
crazy.
that.
No, I like cabin.
That
camping.
sounds terrible. Oh, cabin is fine.
No,
because
not.
they're air
it's
conditioned.
Like a hotel that just looks like a Lincoln
No,
log.
cabins have come a long way since you were born.
You can go to like Beaver's Bend.
That's fine.
They have like flat screens and hot tubs.
There's a sign on the front that says Lou's Tavern. I'm fucking Lou. Who the fuck are you?
I'm fucking Lou. What about that accent? Do you think about that accent ever? Like,
it's the best.
It's the best and also the worst because it's like that thick New Yorkie sort of New Jersey-ish accent, like that can't even. Oh my god! And when girls talk like that,
I do have to admit that I am 100% attracted to. Oh shit! I've already started doing it. I've been dreading this day.
When you start saying 100%,
yes, when I start saying shit because I hear it so much from you.
You're welcome.
God damn it!
Welcome.
When I am 99%, that's my thing. 99%.
I like it.
Oh, back off.
100%.
No, I am all about accents. Accents. I don't even care about. It could be a country accent, like not super country, but somewhat
Can't be
country.
like Minnesota.
I think I think it's just the novelty of an accent. It really does it for me. Like, you can drop down at least 1 point on the hotness scale if you have an accent.
What do you mean you can drop down 1 point?
So if I only go out with 8s, then you could be a 7 if you have a cool accent.
Even if it's just an accent.
Right. And
so park the car in the yard. You like that one?
I mean, just anything that is interesting to listen to.
And no offense to anybody who has that super thick accent, but man, some of them are pretty crazy.
The only thing that bothers me is Canadian accents, because it's just like everything's all cool and you're going along. And
just
in the boot.
A selective word.
Like out of nowhere. What the fuck
that's
just
actually
happened?
a thing. That's super funny. We got to go back to fucking Lou. When he beats the shit
That's a great scene.
out of Brad Pitt, and he just
He's like, you had enough?
keeps, and he goes, "You got it now?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it. Hold on. Oh, damn. I just lost it." And just beats his fucking ass, and then tackles him and just fucking crazily starts spitting blood on him. And guess what? We just signed a lease, motherfuckers. We'll be here every week, and we're every day now, right? That's when it changes.
This week, each one of you has a homework assignment. You're gonna go out, you're gonna start a fight with a total stranger. You're gonna start a fight, and you're gonna lose.
Fucking start a fight and lose.
The reason he wants to do that is to like get people into it. Because if you go out and fight someone and kick their ass, they're not going to want any part of
See,
this.
that's why you're missing this. This is him gaining control over them. So what he's doing now is he's starting to get, okay, go out, start a fight, lose. He's starting to get them to follow. I mean, we're building a fucking army here, dude.
Right.
And that is why you are terrible at watching movies.
I mean, you have to really suspend disbelief in the fact that he could get this army together, because that's just complete bullshit. But I let that go. That's fine. That's fine. I just took it as there's a lot of time that went by, like a lot.
As they're walking down the street and just knocking out the lights of just random cars, and he just goes, "You hear that there's a fight club in Delaware? God damn it, I can't think of the city. Whatever the city is, I'm so sorry I didn't remember because I wanted to." And he goes, "Did you start that one?" And he goes, "No, I thought you did." You know?
Yeah.
I mean, so
he's lying.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Fine. You're gonna call off your rigorous investigation. You're gonna publicly state that there is no underground group. Or these guys are gonna take your balls. They're gonna send one to the New York Times, one to the LA Times press release style. Look, the people you are after are the people you depend on. We cook your meals. We haul your trash. We connect your calls. We drive your ambulances. We guard you while you sleep. Do not fuck with us.
The author of this has a fascination with cutting balls.
There's a lot of ball cutting.
There's a lot of
that
ball
happens,
cutting.
yeah. But I mean, that's a thing nobody wants.
Right, but
Nobody wants their balls cut.
we also don't want to hear about ball cutting.
I had mine snipped, not cut.
I am not snipped.
No?
No,
Oh
I
my
can
God.
impregnate a girl from 50 yards.
You got to be fucking careful.
No,
dude.
seriously.
You
I'm
really-
like super,
Weren't you like
super.
pretending to be Catholic for a while?
What?
The
I'm
fuck just happened?
circumcised. What are you talking about?
Oh, I don't know.
Catholics are
Are
circumcised.
you circumcised?
Of course I am.
Why wouldn't you?
Catholics are circumcised.
I don't know. I don't go into Catholics' business and ask them if they're
Oh,
circumcised.
if they're circumcised? I ask everybody. I don't give a fuck.
Who are these people that aren't circumcised?
Lewis from the Dolly Rots isn't circumcised.
Poor Lewis. I'm sorry, Lewis.
3 members of Simple Plan.
What causes a person not to get circumcised?
Well, Lewis is
Time?
well, no, I mean his family are from South America, and that's just not a common thing. And then their son, the Dolly Rot son.
You just said Catholics get circumcised, though.
I didn't say that
They're
they were
not
Catholic.
Oh, I thought all South Americans were Catholic.
I don't know. I don't fucking
thought
group
so.
them into any religious thing. I don't
I
know.
think a majority of South Americans are Catholic.
As far as culture,
So they leave the hotel. And this is crazy to me, this one, because Tyler is driving. Edward Norton is in the passenger seat. And there's 2 followers in the back seat. What I wonder is if you listen to it.
Do they hear them talking to each other, but he's talking out loud to himself? To
Yeah,
each
or
other?
do you just, if you muted Brad Pitt, would the scene make sense? That's what I wondered as I was watching it today. Like,
that's what fucking drives me crazy.
yeah, but there's not a lot of that to me. Like everything else, you can
think
sort of
there is
point
a lot
out.
of that.
It's not though. But I mean,
There
that one
is
was-
a lot of times when Tyler doesn't say anything and he'll walk out of the room. Like actually on that.
Sir, the first rule of Project Mayhem is you do not ask questions, sir.
Yeah, and he's gone.
And Edward Norton looks at Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt just kind of turns away and walks away.
Right.
So there is a lot of that, but there is also a lot of them talking to each other in front of people. And I don't know. Am I supposed to think that those people are hearing him talking to himself like he's having some inner dialogue? Or are they only hearing one side of the conversation, depending on who he is at that? I mean, it's things like that when I watch it again, watch it the first time, it's brilliant, loved it, it's one of the greatest movies ever, blah, blah. When I watch it again, I start looking at that kind of stuff, and I'm going, man, there's a lot of fucking holes.
In Project Mayhem, we have no names.
No, you listen to me. This is a man, and he has a name. And it's Robert Paulson, okay?
Robert Paulson?
He's a man, and he's dead now because of us, all right? Do you understand that?
I understand. In death, a member of Project Mayhem has a name. His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Come on, guys,
His
please,
name
stop it.
is Robert Paulson.
Do these guys have brains?
Do you know what we missed, though, as you play this scene? Standing at the foot of the table is Jared Leto, and he's all fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And we missed the fact
that he kind of got jealous over himself spending time with Jared Leto, so himself got pissed off at himself for spending time with Jared Leto, so he beat the shit out of Jared Leto.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, right? After Bob dies.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, does that whole zombies, I mean, that was like a zombie scene. It's like, we're all zombies, oh my God, you said something different, so now we'll take something else and make it into this.
They're all broken. I mean, these are all people that have come from all walks of, I mean, dude, you saw that how he's preaching to him on a megaphone. They're all just starting to believe whatever they can.
I was about to say this is a complicated story, but I guess it's really not a complicated story.
No, it's a simple story.
It's a very simple story, but they have a lot to cover. I mean, it was a fucking 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
But what would have grounded this movie in reality more to me is if they had some kind of dissidence in the group. I mean, it was like, once you're in it forever, and no one questions anything, and you just do. There's like, that's not how people work.
You're probably right though on even the recruitment, because the Fight Club was started with doctors and lawyers and people that just had bad days or whatever, that like fucking just wanted to beat the shit out of one another.
Like, no one just goes, wait, but this is bullshit. And then, what are we doing here?
And then everybody just joins the fucking cult.
And then that's it.
I get
then
it.
You're a zombie.
But that's what I'm saying. At that point, you just need to.
That right here, what we're talking about, is what fucks with me.
I know, but why can't you just let that part go and be like, okay, fuck it.
I did the first time I watched it.
Right.
But when I watch it again at my age, and I'm more cynical about stuff,
right,
and I'm more detail oriented,
yeah,
shit like that just pops out of me.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
I don't hate the movie.
No, it's a fictional story.
Yeah, I understand.
And there's a lot of fictional stories.
And I can obviously watch a movie and just let things slide, but it depends on how serious the movie. If the movie is less serious, and I can let tons of stuff slide.
Yeah.
But this was a serious movie. This guy was mentally ill, and we're supposed to believe all of this stuff, but don't believe all this other stuff. I don't know. It was just harder not to let things slide because of how serious it was supposed to be, and how grounded it was supposed to be, and how like corporations are evil, and that's why this could happen. But yeah, I don't know. And again, I don't want people to email me or tweet me and say that you're missing the point. I get the point. I like the movie. The first time I watched it, it was exactly the movie that the director and the writer wanted to present to me, and it was that way, and it was a perfect movie in that way. There's so many great things about this movie, but I'm just saying, when I watch it now, knowing the ending at the beginning, when I'm watching it the second time, I already know how it ends. I'm able to look at it at a different perspective, and that perspective fucking sees holes all over.
I actually have a serious question.
Okay.
So he goes and he visits all the places, and he goes and he sees the footprints in the circle, the barefoot footprints in the circle, whatever. And he says, and the old sweat that smells like fried chicken. And I wanted to ask you, does old sweat smell like fried chicken?
Well, all I know is fried chicken smells amazing.
Right.
So if old sweat smells like, maybe I only smelled new sweat, and that smells like shit.
You never scratch your ball sweat?
They don't have like crevices.
No, you ever just scratch your ball sweat and smell it? And what does it smell like?
It smells like a vagina.
It smells like a vagina.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so does
fried... Because
fried...
that's what that is.
What? Ball sweat?
The vagina is ball
No,
sweat?
I mean, the vagina smells like the vagina is the same reason that ball sweat smells like ball sweat.
That's not true.
Oh, man, that got...
What?
that-
What are you talking
what the fuck
about?
just
What do you mean
happened?
that's not true? It's like moisture trapped.
So you
that's
like-
what that smell is.
So you
Sorry.
you like the smell of ball sweat? That's what you're saying?
Because I like vagina.
Yeah, me too. Let's be ball sweat friends.
Please, God, don't be
It's,
ball
it's
sweat
the
friends.
same thing.
So before the changeover, though, he makes the call. He calls her up. He says, did we ever have sex? She's like, I didn't know we were having sex or making love.
Right.
One day you're sweet, one day. And then Tyler's been gone. He's been gone. He's been away. And he hangs up that fucking phone. And there he is sitting in the hotel room because he broke his promise. He broke his promise and he talked about him.
This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I'm not listening to this. You are insane.
No, you're insane. And we simply do not have time for this crap.
It's called a changeover. The movie goes on, and nobody in the audience has any idea.
Oh, man. That shit is awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I can think things are good. I'm not going to keep defending the fact that I like a lot of things about this movie. I like a lot of things.
It's just weird because you don't like a lot of things.
I like a lot of things.
Do you?
Yes.
In your mouth at the same time?
Son of a bitch.
I feel like the awkward laughing explains itself.
What?
No, he's fine. He's into it.
Yeah.
I think this leads us into...
Cop balls?
Oh, shit. I forgot about him being in the police
If
station.
anyone ever interferes with Project Mayhem, even you, we gotta get his balls.
It's useless to fight. It's really a powerful gesture, Mr. Durden. It'll set quite an example.
You're making a big mistake, fellas.
You said you'd say that.
I'm not Tyler Durden.
You told us you'd say that, too.
All right, I am Tyler Durden. Listen to me. I'm giving you a direct order. We are aborting this mission right now.
You said you would definitely say that.
What's crazy?
fucked up,
it's,
dude.
But you don't like the fact that he's so fucking crazy that he preempted his craziness by discussing shit that he knew he was going to say when he wasn't crazy anymore. Like, literally the craziness in him is taking over the sane part.
Think about it. Tyler Durden told these guys to cut his own balls off, knowing that he would cut his own balls off. Why the fuck would Tyler Durden want his own ball? Why wouldn't he just say, detain me? Because
that's
it's
the
my
thing.
balls. I don't want my own balls to be cut. Just detain me.
Because the crazy him has taken over the sane
And the
him.
crazy him doesn't want balls? The guy that uses the balls most of all.
I know.
Doesn't. I know, right? Right?
He has the best use of the balls. The fuck is he doing?
He's the ball user.
He's the ball guy. He's the fucking ball guy. God damn it. That's where he fucked up. That's why he gets shot in the head.
Exactly. Detain me. Put me in cuffs.
100%.
Make me go to sleep.
I mean, we're gonna. The thing about that, like, none of this movie is believable. This fucking fight scene that's about to happen with him getting thrown through windows and downstairs.
Yeah,
and all
that was weird.
Nobody would survive that anyway.
Wow! Okay, you are now firing a gun at your imaginary friend near 400 gallons of nitroglycerin!
Did you ever see Broken Arrow with John Travolta?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. There's a very similar scene. He's like, do not shoot at the thermonuclear weapon.
Right. Well, I do remember, though, this is what I was going to say earlier, like from the previews, the whoa!
Whoa.
Whoa!
That's great. I love the whoa.
Oh, he nails that.
Yeah, that's fucking Brad Pitt.
But I
He's
also
badass.
love the fact that he says 400 gallons of nitroglycerin. But now he's the voice of reason.
Right.
Now all of a sudden he's like, "Whoa, you're about to blow yourself up."
I'm fine with the ball cutting,
Right,
but
because
this,
he
no.
knows. Because he knows if he dies, he dies.
Right. Which kind of gives him the way out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is shoot himself.
Right.
Which doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
You had a problem with that too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
okay.
a problem with it. Okay, so so he takes the gun. I'm still not sure what the fuck happened.
Okay, he was pointing it straight to the back of his head, and
Right.
somehow it went off to the side of his jaw.
Like, is that the thing? He blew off his cheek?
Yeah, he just blew a hole in his cheek, which somehow killed Tyler Durden in the back of his head.
He had a whole fucking hole in his head.
And by the way, that's not how schizophrenia works. You can't just cure yourself.
Well, apparently you can, because he stood there next to her
Right.
and said everything's going to be okay.
Right.
And they're just fine.
You just met me at a weird time.
Yeah, met me at a weird time,
And
then
everything's
all
fine.
the buildings blow
That's
up.
what I'm saying. It's like,
That's the end of the movie.
around this is just stupid. Everything still got destroyed. The banks are all gone. We're in anarchy now, right? I mean, that's what the plan was all around the country. All of these people were planting bombs in all of these cities so that the financial network basically is demolished. No one has any debt anymore in the United States of America, which is the world. And so therefore, we're in chaos. We're in anarchy. So what was the point of the movie?
We had to do a Brad Pitt movie. You know what we were about to talk about and didn't was the fact that he worked at the movie theater.
Yeah.
And he
was pretty funny.
spliced in these little what was it called, the changeover.
Right.
And he would slice in a dick shot. Did you notice at the end of the movie?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, all through the movie they had. Yeah, the end of the movie had the dick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But all through the movie, especially at the beginning before we met Tyler, we kept seeing Tyler in the little split second shot.
Yeah.
I don't think I noticed that when I first watched it.
Me either.
Yeah, I think like they say, you saw it, but you didn't see it.
Right.
Until you know you're supposed to be starting to see it, and then you really see it. Now, this time I really saw it. Big time.
Who did this?
I did, actually. Find some gauze.
You shot yourself?
Yes, but it's okay. Marla, look at me. I'm really okay. Trust me. Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine because I shot myself in the cheek and
It's
I killed
so
my multiple
cool.
personality.
I know, but here's the thing. Like,
It's so cool.
This is so now I'll be you because this is what
It's so cool.
What's cool?
So I get to yell at you now?
That he shot himself through the cheek into his head. It's awesome.
Why?
No, it's not. This is the fucking worst. He's just been thrown down flights of stairs and through a bunch of windows. No cuts at all.
It's a
he got fucking hit. Okay, stop. No, you're
But
split
you
person.
can't cure schizophrenia.
Let me put this out
way.
there. Your split personality gets thrown down a flight of stairs. You just went down a fucking flight of stairs.
Right.
That's not how it works.
No, it is how it works.
No, it's not.
The physical body is what it is.
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
I'm wrong?
Yes.
So if I'm on my split personality side and I get thrown down a flight of stairs and then I switch back.
It's not like another personality throws your body wherever it needs to go.
No, that's not what I said. But if that happened to me physically, I got thrown down a flight of stairs, no matter
you
which.
or the personality.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does matter.
My body, my physical body,
If your body goes down a flight of stairs.
it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And I've been through a bunch of glass and I shot myself in the face.
Yeah.
Game over.
Game over.
Fucking game over.
No, he shot himself through the cheek.
I know, but why did Tyler fucking have a fucking hole in his head?
Because he shot himself through the cheek.
Yeah?
Through the back of his head.
Where? What?
No, that's a magic bullet. That's a completely different theory.
Yeah, JFK Part 2.
Yeah, that's not even real.
No, dude, it's a freaking mental disorder.
Okay, yeah. And
He grabbed him, he shot himself through the cheek, through the back of the head, he dies.
I think you have to have a mental disorder to let that slide, but what do I know? So what'd you think of the soundtrack? I fucking hated that intro song.
You know what? I'm going to be honest about this. And this is, I think the thing that sucks is when I watch movies, unless the soundtrack is super overt, I don't really hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm supposed to pay attention to it for this podcast and stuff, but like...
I don't remember anything except the intro song, which I thought was terrible.
What was the intro song?
It was just
the
loud. Yeah, it was just
and they're just going through like what
Some
could
weird-
be wires or organs
it was neurons,
and shit.
I'm sure, or something like that.
All right, you got a final assessment on Fight Club for me, Rich?
Like I said, man, the acting, superb. I mean, some of the best acting around. The directing, amazing. The directing was amazing. It was a piece of art. Like, as a piece of art, this movie is fucking phenomenal. As something I'm supposed to make sense of, it was fucking bullshit.
Let me ask you this. So we asked our listeners to decide which Brad Pitt podcast we would do because we both find Brad Pitt very, very attractive.
Very. I just want to reiterate.
Very. I know. There's even like a new like life-size picture of him in the airport right now.
I like Thelma and Louise Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I get that, but like
no,
even the new...
This Brad Pitt was amazing.
The new
when he came out and his fucking... Just like above his penis area was showing and he has those like lines that go down on the side.
The same as Pink in 2004.
I want that shit. I have that line, but it's the wrong reason.
I have a line.
Yeah, I get it. No, but so the people who listen to the podcast decided on the movie because it was like, was there one that you had hoped?
Yeah.
Which one did you
Sleepers.
Want? You wanted Sleepers.
Yeah, I
don't
Sleepers
think that I ever saw that movie.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's not a Brad Pitt vehicle. Like, I think the best Brad Pitt performance in a movie was this movie, but as far as the best movie that he was in, I think Sleepers is...
I think he's amazing in California. Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast has been the greatest podcast ever.
Thank you.
On the topic of the movie Fight Club. If you like what you heard, why don't you check us out at patreon.com/Jaret Goes to the Movies and support the podcast. You can get lots and lots of outtakes. There has been a lot tonight. And you also get the pre-show and the after show. You can all check that out. Go to JaretGoesToTheMovies.com and click on support, and we will give you a bunch of extra content. One of the content pieces is Rich's ding ding. I'll take that again.
I can't find my phone. Somebody take
We know. We'll find it in a minute.
Let's not speak too
I promise.
fast.
I know.
For the right contributor, my ding ding is on the table.
It's on the table.
Yeah.
What table? Our table?
I slap it on any
Get
table.
the fuck out of here. Get his ding off our table. It is Christmas.
It's his own table. He brought it himself. He brings his own
table.
He brings his own table. He just wheels it around. Wheel it around my dick. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jaret Goes to the Movies. If you like what you've heard, why not check out JaretGoesToTheMovies.com to hear more and to support the podcast.
Click on the Support Us tab on there.
Right. And you can get more content, more of Rich's wiener, and we will actually, we have a jar of farts thing coming up where we're going to bottle Rich's farting. That's not really a real thing.
No.
Yeah, that's stupid.
No, but Rich's penis is a real
I did have a pill bottle full of Mount St. Helens ashes after the thing that my grandparents brought me.
That is so topical.
After the thing. So. Rich, where can people find us on the internet?
Like you just said 2 seconds ago, JaretGoesToTheMovies.com.
Or on Twitter, Jaret Movies. Or you can find us on Facebook, Jaret Goes to the Movies. Hey, guys, so thank you so very much for listening. My name is Jaret. That's my friend Rich.
Bye.
We'll see you down the road.